Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy to have you here, guys. In today's video I want to share my thoughts on a new release from Junaid Perfumes, my favorite Middle Eastern fragrance brand. The fragrance is called EBA GOLD and I have here a decant of the fragrance that was kindly sent to me by someone who's watching my videos, so thank you so much. So as you guys, in today's video I want to let you know how this fragrance smells like, how it developed, if it reminds me of other fragrances, who I think would enjoy the fragrance, how it performs, and yes, basically I want to share my thoughts about the fragrance, on the fragrance. Now, yes, of course, if you have tried this fragrance, I would be more than happy to hear your feedback on the fragrance. And like I always say, not only that I would love to know it, but I'm sure everyone who's watching this video interested in purchasing this fragrance could really use your feedback as well. So if you don't mind, please share your thoughts on the fragrance in the comment section. But yes, guys, without further ado, let's just begin. So this fragrance, I will add the notes here on the screen, but one thing about Junaid Perfumes, they are very mysterious and discreet with the notes they list, let's just say. You know, they list just like a handful of notes, but they never really say what went into this fragrance in a sense, you know. It's always like an air of mystery with their fragrances. Of course, I will tell you how this fragrance smells like to me, you know, to my understanding and everything like this. So without further ado, let's begin. I will apply this fragrance on my skin. And first things first, this is a very strong fragrance, you guys. So you need to have a taste for fragrances that, first of all, they leave Middle Eastern very strong and very projecting, because I just tasted it. First of all, in Middle Eastern, like I've said, and second of all, they are on the stronger end of the spectrum when it comes to fragrances. And not only that it's very strong, but it's very projecting. I can already smell it. The fragrance has developed through, not developed, has traveled through the room, has traveled everywhere. This fragrance opens up in almost like a minty, herbal, green way. The opening definitely leans more on the masculine side, at least to my taste. However, as the fragrance starts to develop, especially, let's just say in the heart and in the dry down, it gets to a place where women could easily pull off this fragrance. But let me get back to how it smells like in the opening. The opening feels minty, feels green, feels a little bit crisp, feels very cold, quite refreshing in a sense, but a green minty type of refreshing. You know, it's almost like you crush mint leaves with a little bit of patchouli leaves in your hands. So this is the scent they exude to me. Yeah, also a little bit airy, surprising. So you have this clearly very distinctive, refreshing aspect to the fragrance. Slightly herbal, slightly grounding and aromatic, but the opening of the fragrance is very green. Now, this green aspect on a man, I feel like it would work very well. It would work very beautiful, especially in warm weather. You know, this green aspect on me, I have to say I'm not really the biggest fan of it, because for my taste it is a little bit too out of my comfort zone, let's say. You know, I'm not used to these levels of green facets in fragrances. But you guys, as the fragrance starts to sit on your skin and as the fragrance starts to develop, it goes through such a beautiful change. So I feel like it's safe to say this is not a linear fragrance. This fragrance, from the way it smells in the opening to the way it smells in the dry down, it's like a completely different fragrance. It goes through a beautiful development. Let me tell you how it smells as the fragrance starts to develop on your skin. So slowly but surely, you still have that green, refreshing, slightly aromatic, minty patchouli combo. But I feel like as the fragrance starts to develop, I feel like you start to detect a slight woody facet in the background. But the more the fragrance starts to develop, you have this woody, leathery accord that starts to shine a lot, you guys. The way they did the leather here, it does have a slight funk to it. And the way they did the wood here, they did it so beautiful, you guys. One thing about them, they know how to do strong fragrances, yet they know how to create a refined strong fragrance. A strong fragrance that doesn't smell strong in a sense that, you know how certain strong fragrances, that level of strength comes with the price, and usually the price is the fact that the fragrance, it can feel a little bit more sharp, a little bit more rough around the edges in a sense. Here you don't have anything like this. And not only in this fragrance, in EBA GOLD, but I feel like in general, when it comes to Junaid Perfumes, I feel like their trademark is the fact that they know how to create really beautiful heavy fragrances that don't feel sharp, they don't feel cheap, they don't feel alcoholic, they all feel so refined, you guys. Of course, I can only talk about the fragrances that I have tried myself from the brand, but yeah, I have a lot of love and appreciation for this brand, honestly. I feel like it's an amazing brand, and in case you haven't tried any of the in case you haven't tried any of their fragrances yet, honestly, like, what are you waiting for? To me, Junaid Perfumes, in all honesty, is in a league of its own. Like, when it comes to the way they do their fragrances, from the presentation to the attention to details, to how they blend their fragrances, to the passion that goes behind each and every fragrance, to me, at least for me, they're in a league of their own. So back to EBA Gold. Yeah, now the heart starts to shine more. And what it happens, you guys, luckily for me, the green facet that in the opening was so pronounced and so multifaceted, now it starts to tone down more and more and more and more until it goes in the background and you only get subtle hints of it, but it doesn't steal the show, let's say. And now a beautifully done oud accord develops. Oud with leather. I also detect a little bit of leather, but it's almost like the leather that has a slight funk to it. Is not like your new leather bag, new leather shoes. To me, the leather here, it smells like a slight old leather jacket, that type, but it doesn't smell like a freshly dyed pair of leather boots, let's say. You know, it doesn't have that type of effect at all. Like I've said, the leather here with the slight funk that it naturally has, it complements very well the oud accord that they created. Now, I cannot tell you if it's like real oud or if it's an oud accord, but what I can tell you for sure is that, to me, how the oud translates here to my nose, you know, the sensation or like the scent when you burn an oud chip, or you burn a little bit of bahor. It smells slightly smoky, but the kind of smoky that feels very warm and rich and woody at the same time, yet still feels smoky, but not ashy smoke. It's not the kind of smoke like a campfire type of smoke, you know. It's that specific scent and that specific type of smoke when you burn, like I've said, an oud chip or somewhat of a bahor, you know. You have that exact oud accord here, so it feels extremely realistic, you guys. It legit feels like if you were to, yeah, like I've said, burn a little bit of bahor, you know, with a little bit of an oud chip or something, and you were to put your clothes on top of that, and the clothes have naturally absorbed that smoke, and now your clothes smell like that, you know. This is the kind of oud accord that you have here. So it's such a beautiful and realistic oud accord that they created here, and to me it doesn't go into the Hindi style of oud, so it doesn't have any sour, any acidic, any pungent, any slightly fermented aspects about it, but neither does it go into the, let's just say, like Cambodian oud territories, or like a slight oud accord that leans a little bit more barnyard or a little bit more funky, you know, or a little bit more fickle in that aspect, you know. It has none of these facets. To me, it smells like you're burning an oud chip or bahor, you know, like I've mentioned. This is legit the way they did the oud here, and it feels so royal, so opulent, it feels so luxurious. However, the oud accord here with the leather, it's almost like it gives a slight facet to the oud accord. This is how it's translating to my nose, at least when I smell this fragrance. Yeah, this is how it smells. So the leather gives a slight facet to the oud accord. So those two together, I feel like, are the start of the show as the fragrance starts to develop. And not only this, you guys, but as the fragrance starts to develop, you also do start to detect almost like, to my nose, it smells like a slight honeyed like sweetness, but again, it's muted, you guys, and it's very subtle, and it's almost like it sits behind the oudy leathery combo. The first thing that I smell when I smell this fragrance is the oud and the leather, that I've told you how they smell. Then I get the sweetness that, as the fragrance, like from the heart till the dry down, the sweetness develops more and more, but it always manages to stay right behind the oud accord. It never gets to overshine the oud accord in this aspect. So it's almost like you have the scent of like you're burning an oud chip with that soft honeyed like sweetness in the background. And also I feel like as the fragrance starts to develop, that slightly funky leather accord that you have, it tones down even more, and now it's that oud accord that shines the most, with the slight honey sweetness in the background and with slight green whiffs, you know. Definitely lost the refreshing element, definitely lost the overly aromatic, slightly herbal, very minty facet to the fragrance. It gets sweeter and sweeter, but when I mean sweeter and sweeter, don't think sweet in a sense that it's like a gourmand accord, you know, or don't think sweet in the sense that it smells edible or that the sweetness overpowers. I feel like the sweetness It's muted and subdued, it's in the background, and again it just adds subtle hint to the burning wood chip scent. At least this is how it smells like on my skin. Let's just say 30 minutes in, these are the notes that shine the most. And you guys, this fragrance, if I were to put it in a scent family, I think it has definitely similarities to Marj from Ahmed El Maghribi. So if you have tried Marj, but again, I feel like it's their own take on the DNA. So you have Marj, you have Hair from Paris Corner, and I know Hair from Paris Corner is their take on the DNA of Imperial Valley. So I'm guessing Imperial Valley sits somewhere among these fragrances. Now, yes, this is the kind of scent family I would put EBA Gold into. If you enjoy, like I've said, Hair from Paris Corner, if you enjoy Marj from Ahmed El Maghribi, if you enjoy, I'm guessing Imperial Valley, even though I haven't tried myself that fragrance, you will enjoy this fragrance. But this fragrance, the sweetness that this fragrance has, it's almost that slight honeyed-like sweetness that you have in Marj as well. But Marj, of course, goes into a direction of its own, yet they have common facets, all these fragrances that I have mentioned so far. Yeah, you guys, this fragrance would work so well as, of course, as a standalone fragrance, but if you, or at least for my taste, I would love to use this one as a base. But my trick with this fragrance, if you're a woman and you love the smell of burning oud chips or burning bahor with a little bit of sweetness in the background, yet you are scared of the green accord, because like I've said, I'm not the biggest fan of green facets in fragrances. Especially refreshing, minty green facets on me. On other people, I don't mind them. I love how they smell on other people. But if you have this fragrance and perhaps you would like those green facets to not shine as much, you know, definitely spray this fragrance, let's just say 15 minutes before you leave the home. Even 20 to 30 minutes before you leave your home, I would definitely spray this fragrance on my clothes. Because let's just say 30 minutes in, the scent that will linger on my clothes, that it will legit smell like I use bahor for my clothes, you know, like I put them on top of like a burning bahor and they just absorb the scent. So definitely apply it like 30 minutes prior. And also this is the kind of fragrance you can use as a base to layer other fragrances. Now myself, I wouldn't use it as a base to layer other fragrances like one on top of the other, because remember how I said about that green accord in the opening? I'm not really sure how that green accord would pair with the sweeter fragrances I would layer with this fragrance. I think anything like Kayali's Vanilla 28, Vanilla Royal Sugared Patchouli from Kayali, anything honey forward, this one with Scandale from Jean Paul Gaultier, this one would work amazing. But again, imagine if you want to add to any other fragrances this very luxurious and opulent and royal, yet very sophisticated and refined and upscale Middle Eastern feeling, you know? If you have a taste for this kind of fragrances, then definitely try this fragrance. I love the fact that this fragrance, even though it's a heavy fragrance, it feels like a very refined fragrance. It doesn't feel like the kind of fragrance... Look, I do feel like you really need to test this brand to get what I mean about their fragrances. But their fragrances, even the heavier ones, even the ones that I don't resonate with them myself, let's just say, maybe they are not my cup of tea, but even those fragrances are done in such a beautiful way. They all feel refined, they all feel very well blended, they all feel very smooth, you know. It doesn't matter if they wanted to create like your typical Western like fragrance, think Toulouse for women from Junaid Perfumes, or if they wanted to create a fragrance that leans very Middle Eastern, think EBA Gold, or if they wanted to create a spicy, rosy, cinnamony combo, think Saja Gold, or if they wanted to create a vanilla forward fragrance, think Muatar Dahab for women or Muatar Dahab for men, or if they wanted to create like a rich, heavy, intoxicating, spicy and sweet tobacco honey fragrance, think Garam from Junaid Perfumes. Yeah, these are some of my favorite fragrances from them that I've mentioned so far. So yes, I feel like this is everything I wanted to say about this fragrance. Definitely test it if you have the possibility. You know that I don't really encourage blind buying, you guys. It's tricky. With blind buying, it's tricky. Again, if you're based in the US, I think, look, I haven't checked, so maybe I'm not really sure, but I think you can find this fragrance on Fragrance Arabia. In case you're based in the US and you haven't heard the fragrance Arabia, they are the official distributor in the North America for all Junaid Perfumes fragrances. They also have samples that they sell. Do they have discovery kits? I think they do, but I'm not like 100% sure, but they have samples for a lot of their fragrances. So yeah, and also if you decide to shop on Fragrance Arabia, use the code fragrance15 for 15% off. It's not an affiliate code, I don't receive any commission from that code, but if it helps you, why not use it? So as you guys, thank you so much for watching, you guys. This is everything I wanted to say about EBA GOLD from Junaid Perfumes. Of course, if you've tried this fragrance, I would love to hear your thoughts on the fragrance, or if you have tried other fragrances from Junaid Perfumes. If you have any recommendations from Junaid Perfumes, put them down below, because I'm always interested in trying out new fragrances from this brand. Like I said, you guys, it's a brand that's very dear to my heart. I love the way they do their fragrances. I feel like once you try a handful of fragrances from them, you can sense the trademark of Junaid Perfumes in a fragrance, you know, like you can sense it's a fragrance made by Junaid Perfumes. I don't know how to explain it, but they have this, yeah, they have something else that sets them apart, of course, to me. But you guys, I've received a lot of amazing feedback from you as well when you've tried or when you've purchased fragrances from Junaid Perfumes. So it seems like you love my recommendations from them as well. So of course, I'm very happy to hear that, you know, like it means the world when I recommend you a fragrance, especially from a brand that like I love so much, and you tell me how much you love it as well. It legit puts a smile on my face. So yes, thank you so much for watching, you guys. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram. I will leave my handle up here. As always, if you want to tell me anything, please put it in the comment section, and I promise that I will get back to you. But yes, I will see you in my next video, but until then, thank you so much for watching, and I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye guys.